Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snap Take. This is Glacier of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. And today we've got three more ELSA decks. This card is probably just too good at this point. I think like all the best decks in the game include ELSA at this point in Marvel Snap. Probably not ideal how ahead of the curve she is. However, she's phenomenal. We've got three more decks for you with her today. We're gonna look at the counters for her next week. I'm aiming for Sunday, but gotta grade some on Sunday, gotta write some college recommendations. We'll see if there's a Sunday video. Worst case, by Monday, you will have some ELSA counters, and we'll have another new card to talk about. Today, we're gonna do three decks. In addition to those three decks, I'm gonna, at the end of today's episode, talk to you about the November cards, Spotlight Caches, Season Pass, so on. We did October at the start of this week. Yesterday's video covered the December cards. We're covering the November new cards and the Spotlight caches coming that month. Be ready. All right, before we go further, I'd like to invite you to subscribe. We give you at least two brand new decks every single weekday. Decks that are from the best players in the game. Decks that get infinite. Decks that get high infinity, get you infinity borders, and keep you ahead of the Marvel Snap meta. We help you reach your goals in Snap, and all we really ask you to do is subscribe, like, comment, help us grow. We'd greatly appreciate it. In addition, other main thing we do, we give away 15 season passes every single month, sometimes more, sometimes with a grand prize of something else, depending on how my finances are looking. It all comes from my pocket. I'm happy to help support the community, but you have to be subscribed to be able to enter. You have to be subscribed to make sure you get the notification, so on, so forth. Let's keep going. Uh, this is the deck I hit Infinite with. We're not covering it in detail today. I just hit Infinite. I'm ranked like 1300, 1400, something like that. Right now in the world, pretty good. I mean, I hit infinite quickly. It's honestly the reason I am. I'm like mid 7,000s of snap points. I'm pretty good, but I don't really like push and grind. I just don't have time in my life for it. I play. I usually win a fair amount when I play, but I don't like sit there for like those marathon sessions. And because of the channel, I end up testing a lot of decks. I don't usually play one thing. So what happened this season is I played my own brew from basically 70 to 73 to 80, whatever, 83, whatever it is. Then I played something else for two, and I played this basically this way from here to infinite. And I tested some other decks on the way, but I had so much fun when I was playing this deck that I kept coming back to it. I really, really thought this was a blast. The play pattern of drop the ones that make the cards and then falcon them back for a big collector and then Loki up a huge collector, or just like replay them to like pump a bishop or an Angela through the roof, or with Elsa just make like 1/5s left and right, was so much fun. Genuinely one of the most fun decks I've ever played. I'm a little sad I hit Infinite with what I'd honestly consider like a more on the boring side deck. I mean, it's an Elsa deck, it's a bounce deck, and it's a Loki deck. How cliche can I be? I usually do better than that. Last season it was Loki, but at least it was Loki Galactus. What are you gonna do? This was super fun. If you have these cards, I urge you to play it. And if you need a guide to play it, please make sure you check out yesterday's video for the full turn-by-turn breakdown of this deck. All right, we love deck credits here. We think it's important to give credit to the people who put their time and effort into making these decks. Our first deck is from Swen. Swen is a phenomenal player. That was the one deck we just talked about. This is a top 10 player who's been top 1 on the ladder climb. Swen is phenomenal. Thank you so much, Swen, for that awesome, awesome deck. Our next deck, the deck we'll be looking at first, is Paper's deck. Paper is one of my favorite Marvel Snap content creators, a really, really nice person who's extremely smart and extremely analytical, and always playing something quirky and different. Spyro is a content creator I'm honestly newer to. Spyro is absolutely huge on train that's passing. Spyro is absolutely huge on Twitch. He's the founder like of the Phoenix Resurgence. I wish I could take credit. I played it. I succeeded with it. But all I did was get my corner of my Discord to play it and succeed with it. Spyro got everyone playing it, and then KM made a video on it, and then everyone was playing it. Spyro had that. We've got another cool Spyro creation. This one is, no offense to Spyro, who's brilliant, less distinct. Spyro hit like top 30 or something with this deck immediately upon hitting Infinite. And D Money has a deck that's strange. I'm not even 1,000% sure this works, but D Money is brilliant. And if like D Money is one of the best tournament players in the game, whenever D Money competes in a major event, D Money competes for the top of that event. Like every damn time. He's fantastic. He's also coming on the podcast later this early in November as far as scheduling goes. So he'll be on the podcast relatively soon, which you can find on the Marvel Snap Zone YouTube. A new episode released today. D Money is phenomenal. I've learned that if he makes a YouTube video on a deck, it means he believes in it, and when he believes in a deck, it's usually really good. So we're gonna take a look at that. I haven't had time to play it much yet. I've played it a little bit. It seems good. It seems finicky. Last deck we had no, not deck, sorry. Lastly, Drewberry makes the tied for the best with our boy Carolus. Infographics in all of Marvel Snap. Drewberry posts them on Twitter. Carolus makes all the Marvel Snap Zone ones. So Drewberry has a nice simple one pager for this November season pass. So we're gonna look at his stuff. Make sure you check out Drewberry. First deck for the day. It's Paper's Infinite Kazoo. This deck is really, really cool. I could not believe this worked. I played this a little bit on my whenever I like got bored of the other deck, and like when other things weren't working. This deck is very, very good. Um, no one expects Shang-Chi anymore, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Storm just steals lanes, right? Like if you Nebula and then Storm a lane, you can still fill that lane with Shauna and Squirrel Girl, and like you're just beating anything they can even consider doing in that lane. Um, that Shauna and Squirrel Girl get absolutely humongous because of ELSA. Kazar and Blue Marvel pumping everything through the roof. Mobius means nothing can get in your way. Although, like, honestly, I'm not a bajillion% sure how needed Mobius even really is. Because your go wide strategy, like you're dropping your ones as you see them, your real go wide strategy for this deck is to play Squirrel Girl and Shauna and they get past Wave, who's not really in the meta, right? Like Wave was sort of killed, chased out by Mobius because, like, if the opponent drops Mobius, all of a sudden you just have a card that you have no interest in playing. You're gonna need Elsa for this deck. Mobius and Nebula are great. Keep Mobius if you're seeing a lot of Wave. Nebula is great. Twos you can try. Jeff, Armor, Luke Cage, I think are very good twos. In this deck. Hawkeye is a pretty good one, but I put Bast in when I play it. And I've been playing with Bast in the Mobius spot, Bast in the Nightcrawler spot, and that's the two spots I play Bast in, right? Yeah. I kept Nebula. Because Basting and then Nebuling is absolutely amazing. But yeah, so Bast is great. It only lowers Kazar by one. Everything else in this deck either benefits or is neutral for it, and that +1 power is just really, really great. So that's what I thought about it. That's how I played the deck. I think this deck is sweet, and you should try it. How do you try it? So this is an Infinite Kazoo in Series 3, Series 4, Series 5 decks at the top of the meta. Um, while I was ranked the high thousands, right? Like I was like 1,200. Paper immediately jumped to like 500 upon hitting Infinite, and this deck has on Marvel Snap Zone right now a 64% win rate, 63.5 if we're going to be completely exact, which is just wild. So my basic play pattern is Nebula's better than Kitty, better than MM, better than Nightcrawler. Um, don't play Squirrel Girl turn 1 almost ever. Turn 2, Elsa is better than Mobius, but like you'll play Mobius just fine. Turn 3, Storm. If you have Nebula out, it's a really, really good spot to Storm. If you have Ant-Man out and then you know you have if you already have Shauna and Squirrel Girl, please feel free. Because you can just play Storm there and then just ignore the location, right? With Nebula and Storm there, and then know you're gonna get 2 more cards there without any trouble. Um Turn 4, Kazar. Turn 5, Blue Marvel. If you have to just play some cheaper stuff, turn 4, and then Kazar in a 1 on 5, that's totally fine. Turn 6, go wide. Squirrel Girl and Shauna are your aces in the hole. No one expects Shauna. And you can play Squirrel Girl with Shang too. So that's actually one of the best plays. If you Shang a location, obviously Shang usually wins a location you play him in, right? You're playing him for a reason there. And then Squirrel Girl lets you go so wide. If you Squirrel Girl to make it a 5 in another location, that 5 can become a 7. It's completely nuts. So Squirrel Girl fills the location, gets +3, gets a pump from Blue Marvel, a pump from Kazar. That's a 7 power Squirrel Girl. That's making 2 more 3 power cards. So 13 power out of Squirrel Girl. I don't know. Seems good. Deck is awesome. Play it. It's super fun. let's take a quick look at variants, and we've got one major variant change because I made this deck yesterday. Because today I hit level 7 in my season pass, and I got a mystery variant, and it was the joy of joys. I'm going to play this deck so much more now. It was the Dan Hip Kazar, so I will never play this very otherwise very nice. I believe it's Alex Horley Kazar because the Hip Kazar is fantastic, and that means I'm a very hipful deck. I've got two hips I didn't put in this. I'm just trying to mix up which variants I show you for those of you who watch every day. Thank you for watching every day, by the way. I really do appreciate you. If you're not watching every day, sub now. You're missing out. All right. So this is the kitty I use all the time. I also have the recent bundle kitty. I like this one better. I love the phasing through the wall. I've got a foil background. Eventually, I'll gold it. My current obsession is getting a variant for every card, and that variant for every card gold, and then I will just update it and keep it gold. Um, this is my favorite Ant-Man in the game. I also have the baby Ant-Man, which is glorious. I like this one a little better, but they're close. Roy got this one early. My co-host on Snap Judgments got this early, and I was always a little jealous of it. Now I don't have to be. I have three Nebulas. Uh, I have this one from the season pass. I have the hip, which is the one I actually use in game 99% of the time, and I have the spotlight one, which I opened by accident. I just decided to throw this one in this. I also have Hip Nightcrawler. I have the Twitch Drop Nightcrawler, and this is Jim Lee. I love the Jim Lee. I used it forever. It's great. I've got this nice Squirrel Girl from a big bundle fairly a while back now, I guess, in black and white. I did get my Hip Elsa. I did get my Hip Mobius. Life is good. This is my favorite Chunk-Chi. I've got it gold with I'm not sure if they're gold or green sparkles to be completely honest, but they're great. I've got the gold on this Blue Marvel too. I've got the gold on this Storm. It's a beautiful deck. I did not buy the Hip Shauna, and now I'm regretting it. I'm kicking myself. If that comes back, I'm getting it. But I just bought three variants today. I bought that new Hulk. I finally got the Dakin Hip, and I got the Mirage with the Maria Wolf Mirage with the really great art, and I don't have a Mirage, and I'm just like, I'm never really opening for a Mirage. I'm putting Mirage in more decks. I really like Mirage in the meta right now. She's so much better than she was like a week ago. Just because there's so much cheap stuff that when you get bigger is amazing because you're gonna get like +2 from Mirage and +3 from Elsa. It's great. So I felt like I had to have a Mirage variant. But I want that Shauna. I spent all my gold. Not sure what to do about this right now. Don't really have money to buy some more gold, so hopefully I get some ugly variants for a few days until next Friday. All right, this deck is awesome. I have it very pretty, and I am very happy. Please try it out. Next up, we have Elsa Kitty Shuri. This is the Spyro deck. I don't know why I write Spyro in the title. Sometimes I make these a little late at night, and they end up the way they end up. This is a deck that we saw rise to the top of the meta for like 4 days before Kitty was nerfed. Well, Elsa basically fixes that nonsense, and this deck is back to being tier 1. I have one wrong piece of information on a slide. I will tell you when we get there. Cool. Okay, so this is amazing. Kitty gets big from Forge. Kitty gets big from Elsa. Kitty gets big from Hulkbuster. Kitty gets big from Shuri. Then you copy Kitty with Taskmaster. And when that play line doesn't work, you've got Red Skull Taskmaster and you've got Shuri Vision Taskmaster. Pick a way to win. You're going to feel pretty good about it. All right. You're going to need Kitty and Elsa for this working. Jeff should straight up probably be Mobius if you're seeing any wave. Wave destroys the face off this deck. But if you're not seeing wave, don't stress it. Like Jeff is probably better in every other circumstance. Although I guess Dream Dimension is fairly common. And if you've got neither card, then Luke is pretty good here because there's a lot of Shadow King in the meta, as there frickin' should be right now. This is a gross deck at 61%. The main play pattern is Kitty into Forge or Angela, then Kitty and Armor, or Kitty and Forge, or Kitty and Angela. Then in a lane alone, if you can, Kitty and Hulkbuster. Then Shuri and Kitty, then Kitty and Taskmaster, and you just have bajillion power, and your opponent, you throw priority forever, and your opponent has a really hard time dealing with your crap. But that's not the only play line. This is the slide that has the slightly wrong information, by the way. Kitty doesn't matter for this play line. Then you want to go Elsa or Armor. Both are better than Angela. You'd really, really like Elsa and Armor to be out on 2 and 3. You put those two twos in the same lane. Elsa and Armor ideally. Then you put Shuri in that lane. Then you Vision. Vision is 19, not 20. That's the wrong information. Vision is 19 because Vision is now filling that lane. You've got ELSA, right? So it's going to double to 16 plus 3 is 19. I did my math completely wrong. Don't ask how. Just can't count. I'm an English teacher. What do you want from my life? So you get the 19 power Vision, which you can then move. And then in that location, you drop Taskmaster, and that Taskmaster is going to copy that Vision for 19 power. Pretty nice. It's just pretty nice. It's a great way to win games of Marvel Snap. A lot of decks aren't like equipped to go over that 19, and then that like 19 plus 5, 6, 7, so 26 in the Taskmaster in that lane. You're good. You're good. This deck is really really great. I think that this is going to be a force to reckon with in the meta, and I'm very curious if it's a tournament deck because we don't know that yet because tournaments haven't happened in a little while, or at least major tournaments haven't happened in a little while. I believe we have a major tournament happening this weekend. I think the first Team Rally Cry event is this weekend. I'm going to actually throw the Team Rally Cry ring. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to throw the Team Rally Cry link into the description of this video if you would like to participate in free tournaments that can win you like all sorts of like cash. I'm talking like thousands of dollars. So I'll throw that in the video description. I believe that's October 6th? Question mark? Could be wrong. Whatever. It'll be in the description either which way. Trust me. Look at the deck again. We've talked about this kitty. I decided Pixel Angela. I don't know why. I just like Pixel Angela more than most pixels. I think it feels kind of like okay. There's an NES game called Athena that I kind of hated when I was a kid, and I know this doesn't look anything like it, but it reminds me of it, so I'm for it. I bought this armor. This is the best armor in the game as far as I'm concerned. I absolutely love it. We've talked about ELSA. I've got more hip with Jeff here. I don't like this Forge or Vision. They're just the variants I happen to have. If you like them, hey, more power to you. Art is subjective, as someone in the comments reminded me. I'm aware. I'm not speaking like objectively this is better or worse. I'm telling you what I think is better or worse. I like this Hulkbuster a lot. I have the blueprint one, which I never use since I got this one. This is the only Shuri I use. I have a Shuri I love too. I have the baby Shuri with a gold background. It's really, really cool looking, but this one's so much better. Oh well. Red Skull sucks. Go to hell. But really important in this deck. And I have this America and another America I'm sure I used in a different deck. This America I have gold, so it's gorgeous. The money's move, Elsa. Um, this is just good. If your opponent's not running Killmonger, this is like that Human Torch wins a lane all by himself. If your opponent is running Killmonger, that dagger can still win a lane all by herself because everyone's running Elsa-ish cards, and dagger just has every ability in the world to get huge. Craven is amazing here. Elsa is like the secret key to this deck. Not sure Luke is actually worth it here, if we're gonna be totally honest. But everything else about this deck is phenomenal. All right, you must have Ghost Spider and Elsa. You literally cannot play it without Ghost Spider and Elsa. Jeff can be Nightcrawler or Forge. Jeff is in no real way important here. Jeff is just a card that can jump into a lane to fill it for Elsa and then move out and pump Craven. Cool. We already have cards that do that. All right. Your job is to get big with Torch, Vulture, and Dagger. Basically one of the three. I almost never want to play Torch on one here. I want to play Elsa. Then I want to play Dagger or Luke on Elsa. Plus an Iron Fist on Elsa if I can. Iron Fist has to be the one there. Then I want a Torch on Elsa. He's going to get the +3. He'll be 5 at that point. Then he's getting pushed immediately to become a 10. And if I can Ghost Spider, Ghost Spider apparently, since I can't type, now I have a 20 power Torch and I've won that lane, right? I'm just ignoring that Torch now as best I can. But I still have a spot and I still have 2 energy to drop another card there if I want. So if I did play Elsa, I can then drop Cloak with that last card in the last lane, and I can just move that dagger over there, fill up and start gaining power that way. If not, I'm going to drop Cloak in a quiet lane along ideally with Vulture. And that'll give if Vulture filled the lane, again, it's a 6 power card now, and then it's gonna get its 5 more. Now I've got an 11 power Vulture with a 4 power Cloak and whatever else I managed to move there. It's a lot of power. I can also just fill the damn lane with Vision and then move Vision. And at that point, basically turn 5 and 6 are interchangeable here. I'm gonna spend turn 6 moving. No, it's not. Excuse me, because you have to play cloak the turn before. I'm gonna spend the turn moving. If I cloaked, I'm gonna spend the turn moving to the cloak. If I have vision, I'm gonna move vision ideally to a spot that I'm dropping Raven into, and then I'm gonna drop another card like Spidey onto Elsa. That'll be an 8. That's gonna mess up their math. If I can pull them into that torch lane, which I'm probably gonna win, so much the better. That's the deck. Variants. This is the bundle Ghost Spider. It is what it is. It's not my favorite. I want a good Ghost Spider. I don't like most of the art for her in the game, but I love, love, love her costume. So life is complicated. I like this torch. It's one of the better torches. This Iron Fist is one of the ugliest variants in the game. It is absolutely terrible as far as I'm concerned. The tattoo looks just so freaking weird. Uh, sorry, not sorry, I guess. Pixel Dagger is actually pretty good. Don't no hate for Pixel Dagger. I still have Pixel Cloak. I guess I should put them together, but I have two really cool cloaks. I have this 16.99 cloak and the Max Greek. Not sure how to pronounce that. Someone will tell me in the comments, right? Cloak. So um I wanted to play the cool cloak because how many chances do you get to play cloak? We talked about Elsa. This is not the Craven I usually use, but I figured there's enough spider people here that I would throw the Venomy Craven in here, the Venomized Craven in here, because like, it fits the theme. Luke Cage, cool, cool. Uh Jeff, you know what Jeff is. I like this Luke. It's like Cage Fighter Luke. Cool. Jeff is hip. We can't do decks without hips, although this deck is sadly a 2 hip deck only. I don't even have any hips I'm not using. I still lack a Vulture variant. I still don't like this Vision, and this Spider-Man from the bundle is one of the best Spider-Man. Um, I I'm telling you, I don't think this deck is that good, but it wins. So like, I'm obviously just wrong. I feel like this really wants Heimdall, but it obviously doesn't because it keeps winning without him. I don't know. Something about this breaks my brain. Like, why am I not running Bishop or Falcon? Because it wins anyway. Whatever. There's 1,000 different ways you can mess with it. Try to play it and really make this work and sing. But as it is right now, it's still pretty good. Hey, people in comments, like anyone who's either like infinite or willing to like screw around on Conquest, I don't have a real sample size of stats for this, except D Money is really, really good and won a lot with it, and I won with it when I played it. So, like, let me know how this one feels, please. Thanks. All right, we are on to the November Spotlight caches. Um, I don't know how we get them to stop putting null in Spotlight caches, but I wish they'd stop putting null in Spotlight caches. Before we talk about Ms. Marvel, I'd also like to note that the patch is in October is the week before this. So the patch is scheduled the week before this season drops. It's not the same week as the season like it has been the past 2 or 3 seasons, whatever it is. So we had a bunch of 4 week seasons, and then we had a 5, and that 5 threw everything off again. So now we are on to we're on to mixing things up. We've got Ms. Marvel, whose power I think is going to depend largely on whether she can affect adjacent locations with when you have no cards. But she's a 4/5 with an ongoing. Adjacent locations where your cards have unique costs have +5 power. So if you have a 4 cost, a 5 cost, and a 6 cost in one lane, like sorry, she's a 4 cost in the middle, you have another 4 cost on the right with a 1 cost. That lane gets +5. Then you have a 6 on the other lane, that lane gets +5. I think she's going to be great, in particular for Galactus, because she turns Galactus into kind of a 10 if you play her in the middle that your opponent has to respect and deal with. Um, I think she's probably very good. She's going to require totally different deck building. I think she's going to be the worst season pass card since Dakin, which is not an insult. It's just that Loki and Elsa are kind of busted. And I think Shadow King's going to be busted coming next month. Again, yesterday's video. Um, yeah, look, she's going to be at least good. She might be great, but she's going to be at least good. If you missed Alioth, this is your chance to get Alioth. And Negasonic's not great, but like maybe she'll get some kind of buff or rework for the spotlight. Maybe not, but Negasonic's not great. We do know we're probably not getting series drops because both Negasonic and Stegron are in spotlight caches, and I don't think that they are putting them in spotlight. Like if they're putting them in spotlight caches, they're not dropping them, and those are cards that they would like pretty clearly series drop. And I'm very frustrated about this. I wish I had an answer. Um, the only person I get to like talk to ever really is Glenn, and this isn't Glenn's department, so I don't have any good answers. But it makes me very sad. I wish Null would stop being in spotlights. I wish this is like a cool Negasonic. Negasonic has like one variant, but I happen to have that variant, so I'm not opening for this. I also have Hip Alioth, and Gengar is better than this, even though this one is really cool looking. And like, hopefully by now everyone has Null variants, right? Like, you should probably have Null if you've been playing long enough. Um, our next card is Gladiator. Gladiator is a 3/7 now. It was in this latest patch pulled down. So on reveal, add a card from opponent's deck to their side of the board. If it has less power, destroy it. So very often this is just going to be a straight 3/7. That's great. It's basically a 3/7 that also Yondu's sometimes. But when it doesn't kill the card, it can lose you the game. So that's terrifying, right? But what if you Shuri it? Now you have 14 and you can still play other cards. Great, but what am I following that up with? Like, I just spent 2 turns for 16 power, right? Fine, like it's really good, but like think about what bounce decks are doing right now in terms of power. I'm the low man on Gladiator. I feel like a lot of people really, really like it, and I'm not for it. I think Mirage is really good, even though I'm not in love with this art. This art is kind of sort of why I bought Mirage, to be perfectly honest. I wanted a Mirage, and I don't like the Spotlight, so like, why instead of opening for it, here we are. I do love that Spotlight Gladiator though. Um, and the Loki is not as good as the one they gave us for free, as far as I'm concerned. So they gave not for free, excuse me, for $10 for buying the season pass and completing it. So like, since I have that, I'm satisfied. As far as that goes. But like, hey, if you missed Loki, please open this week because you should probably own Loki. Loki is great, and Loki is great with only a couple Series 3 cards. I tried to give away so damn many season pass cards over and over during the Loki season because I wanted everyone to have him. I feel like so bad for people who missed out on him because he is going to be phenomenal. Such a good card. Um, I don't see him getting worse. I don't think they're going to rework him. I think he's just going to stay great. That's my hunch. Maybe like a 3/4, but like it doesn't matter. He's still going to be great. All right. Annihilus, I'm not actually sure how to say that. I've only ever read it until 2 days ago on the podcast. Comes out on my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, my lovely wife, on November 21st. Your cards with 0 less power switch sides, destroy those that can't. That doesn't destroy every card that has more than 0 power. That destroys your 0 cost cards that don't switch sides. This is going to be absolutely amazing in junk decks, like completely bonkers amazing in junk decks. I think this makes junk decks tier 1. One of the things I've noticed is when they want cards to be played, they make them 4/6 and 5/8. This is a 5/8, which I believe means it's pushed and going to be great. I would not shock me if they pre-release nerf it if this is performing. The big weakness for this card is that other people can have it too, and then you're just trading and destroying everything, right? Whoever plays it last gets the advantage. This is going to work really well with next week's card, Man Thing. And I don't think Man Thing's good until then, but a month later, I think Man Thing will be good with this. Um, Dakin's a good card. Like, I'm very happy I own Dakin. I had a massive amount of fun with Dakin for the whole month that he was out. I won a lot of games to Snap. He was one of my favorite cards. I haven't played him much since because, like, I don't know. Maybe I should look back into him. I bet you he's probably pretty good with a lot of the new strength buff cards. So, like, maybe I'll look back into Dakin soon. And X23 is like, if you love Destroy, you absolutely, like, you must have Null, you must have X23. It's like a mandate for that deck. As far as variants go, I do not like this deck. And I bought, as I said earlier, the hip today. Happy. I love this Annihilus. That's the pronunciation I'm going with. If I'm wrong again, you can yell at me in the comments. It's fine. I don't really care. I would love it, but I'm not gonna open extra spotlight caches. You might notice that 3 of the 4 here are Series 5, which means that I'm in token hoarding mode. X23, this X23 is glorious. I believe it's a Peach Momoko. Whatever it is, it's super beautiful. However, I opened the Wolverine variant this week. I opened 1 spotlight cache, or last week, whatever it was. Whenever the Wolverine one was there, I decided I must have that. I love it. And I was like, I've got 7 caches. I've got enough to get there. I want it. I opened 1. It was Wolverine. I never need another variant for that card because I really, really love that variant. Um, our last card, November 28th to December 4th, is Martyr. Martyr was changed to a 1/4. At the end of the game, move to a location that loses you the game if possible. So, this card's going to be great. unless they nerf the crap out of Elsa, right? Like a 1/7 that you just play at the end of the game is great. You just like you play it in a flood deck, you play it in like a deck that runs like Kitty, right? A deck that's running why can't I think of the name of that stupid card? Uh Mysterio and Hitmonkey, and then Martyr doesn't have anywhere to move, and it dropped to 1/7, and 1/7 is a really good stat line. Sorry, 2/7 is a no, because it's a 1/4 now, right? So 1/7 is a really good stat line when combined with Elsa. If Elsa's not nerfed by then, it's great. Um, Also really really nice. It feels like the Annihilation Conquest run for this Martyr variant. Martyr is Series 4, so I'm using tokens to get her. Jean Grey is Series 5. She is in and out of the meta. She is severely underrated. I want a Dark Phoenix Jean Grey, but I ain't opening because the other two cards are Series 4. And this, I don't especially like this Spider Man. And B, I already have a hip for Spider Man 2099. Spider Man 2099, though, is showing up in a lot of like slightly off meta decks, but very good decks right now. Our friend Combat Snap played him in what I think might be one of the 3 to 5 best decks in Marvel Snap right now, if not higher up. So like it might be worth going out for these cards. Except that Gene is kind of meh. I think that if we're gonna like tier these, the week to open Spotlight caches, like you obviously I think the best card this month that you can get if you don't have any of these cards is either Alioth or Loki. I go back and forth with which I think is best. I think it's going to depend where the meta is in month. There's like just the way Marvel Snap moves, literally no way to know that. So if you're going to go for like a single card, it's Alioth or Loki. I think they're better than any of the new cards. If you must have a new card, obviously Ms. Marvel will be the best. I think they're going to push um, season pass cards for the time being, so fine. I think the next best card, unless you have all the bounce tools, is Annihilus. So look into that. I think Annihilus Week is also a great one to open for because that's 3 Series 5 cards if you are opening, and X23 and that can both open up decks for you that don't otherwise exist or aren't otherwise very good. There's a lot of value the Martyr Week, but those are Series 4 cards, so you can just be patient and get them with tokens and be more efficient with your Spotlight caches. If you're between Alioth and Loki, I guess the deciding factor is you can open Gladiator, which is a Series 5 card with Loki, and you don't super want Negasonic and probably have Null for the week before with Alioth. So I guess I'm going to go Loki. So if you're going for a single card, it's Loki, then Alioth, then Annihilus, but Annihilus has the best other card, so I think that would be the week I focused on if I were just getting one. I will be getting all the cards, assuming that my finances don't somehow collapse between now and then. Because otherwise, how the hell do I make all this content with them? Alright, that's today's video. I hope you had fun hanging with me. Remember that I am out tomorrow. There will not be a video on Saturday. There may be a video on Sunday. We'll see. There's definitely something coming for you Monday because it's a weekday, and I have not missed a weekday since I started. We've been doing this since March every single weekday. Don't miss out. Sub. We appreciate you and your support. Peace.